Hi book friends! So we are here to start my amazing readathon vlog. So I am Team Pandorica and I have a couple of bonus prompts and we are going to start leg one. So we know what leg one is. It is a book recommended on booktube. But because I know this month is going to be crazy and I want to be a little bit ahead of the game, I want my books to count for something. I don't want to read anything and I kind of have to put it down. So we know in advance what our sightseeing prompts are. I know in advance what the prompt is, so it's recommended on booktube, which means I have a lot of options. I really am trying to read between 300 and 350 pages during the week. Weekend legs, I could read a little bit more, just depends on the vibes, but I do want to focus on that. So I am going to I'm going to attach a photo of it if I can remember to put it here. So here's the sightseeing prompt list. Readathon is we're racing around the galaxy. It's very, very Doctor Who-esque, and you have to finish your leg book before you do your sightseeing, but I have to start reading both at the same exact time. So I'm just going to roll a prompt and see where we wind up, and that will be the prompt that I have to have both my leg books match, so I'm not putting books down. So, ooh, a 6. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. A book involving grief, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ooh, okay. You could go both ways. There's no real logic to this. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a 5-star read prediction. Okay. So both of the books I pick up need to be a 5-star read prediction. Has to be recommended on booktube, which just means I heard about it on booktube. So, okay. I might be cheating a teensy bit, but I'm going to do Vanishing Sky for my audiobook by Catherine Cowles. I will attach a photo of that book here. A bit of a reread for me, I'm going to be really honest. It is also super popular and super hyped on booktube. So that's going to be my 5-star read prediction. I am probably going to finish that book first because I do finish my audios first. Now I need to do a 5-star read prediction that is recommended on booktube. Okay. Alright, let me find a book. Okay. Well, alright, let me take a second. Let me take a second and figure out what I'm thinking of. Alright, I'll be back. This was the book that I was going to read, A Forest King's Daughter by Ellie Blake, and I actually DNF'd this book. I read like 30 pages and I stopped reading it. But that is when I was doing like blog tours and I was so over it, so I just stopped doing blog tours. I felt a lot of pressure. So I got this off of Pango. This was a book recommendation from Brittany Loves Reading. She enjoyed it. So I'm going to go back to my 100-page rule. I want to read 100 pages a day, every single day in the month of June physically. And audiobook-wise will obviously be a little bit different. But this is going to be the first book I start like tomorrow morning when I'm running errands. So we're going to read The Forest King's Daughter and Across the Vanishing Sky. I have already read Across the Vanishing Sky. But I will probably finish that book first, and this will probably be my sightseeing, but maybe things go according to plan and they don't. But this is exactly what I want to be reading. I'm really excited. And now I have to figure out what I want to read tonight. I don't just stop reading. I like need to like keep reading something. So I'm going to go try to find something that I can keep reading, even if it's like a page or two or something. So, all right, I'm going to put this book in my bag. This will be my workbook. I have my audiobook. We're all set, so that is what we are going to read tomorrow, and I'll come home tomorrow and we will chit-chat about what I got up to reading. But my goal tomorrow is to read 100 pages physically. That is my goal. And I can't start anything tonight, so I have to find something super short to read tonight, or like something that won't count. Alright. Alright, let me go see if there's anything that I could read tonight that like is short, that will work. Alright, I will be back when I have an update for you if I find something that I want to read. Alright, bye. Hey dragons, I am back. I just want to do a few updates. Happy June 1st, friends. I did wind up reading about 20 pages in The Shippers by Catherine Center. But I am going to put this book down. I'm going to restart it because I did get the audiobook from Book of the Month. So when that isolation prompt comes up, I can pick this book up. I'm really excited about it. So I'm really excited for that. I also wound up reading about, I would say about 100 pages into Across the Vanishing Sky by Catherine Cowles. This is a 5-star read. I mean, it's a 5-star for me. I love this book, but I hadn't listened to the audio, and I do want to do that before we dive into the next book. So basically, you have a main character named Brayden. She winds up moving to the small town because a year ago, she went there with her best friend, and her best friend went missing. And the cops and the small town doesn't really want to search her. They think that she just, got lost or something. But Brayden is convinced that something happened, and she is convinced of it. So she moves back to the small town with her young son. And then you have Dex, who you have seen in the other series. He's like a white hacker. Little did we know in those book series that Dex's dad is a serial killer. And you're kind of following him, and they're kind of forced to live next door to each other. And I'm about 100 pages, probably 100 pages into this one. And I am liking my reread. I just didn't have a lot of listening time today because it's a Monday at my job and things. I actually haven't worked a Monday in such a long time. So it felt weird being back to work on Mondays, but I am really liking this, and we'll hopefully read a little bit more tomorrow. It just sort of depends on the schedule. And then I don't think I'm going to get 100 pages into this book like I wanted, but I am about 20 pages into The Forest King's Daughter by Ellie Blake. I am liking this book. I am liking this quite a bit more. I DNF'd this book about a year ago and never went back to read it, but we have two characters who are friends. We have Zuru and Cassia, and basically Zuru is they're different races, and Zuru gives Cassia a gift that lets her to bring down Zuru's population. But in the first 20 pages, she's having a very hard time working this magic thing, working this weapon, and her father is very disappointed in her. And that's all that I've read. I've read 20 pages of this book. So I would like to read a little bit more before I come back and give you guys a chit chat about what's happening. But I do want to do that. I do want to come back and chit chat with you. So maybe tonight I might give you an update. I would like to get up to page 100 tonight. I don't know if that's going to happen. But I did work out. I did listening to a little bit more of Across the Vanishing Sky by Catherine Cowles, and tomorrow I think I could definitely get a little bit more into this. Mondays is just my weird day. I'm going to be honest. It's not the greatest day. And the end of the week this week, because we do have a lot of PDs and stuff, it's like a teacher work week, Thursday and Friday, I might be able to get a lot more reading done. It just depends on what the schedule is like. And you can never predict schedules in elementary school in June because things are a little bit chaotic. But I am going to try to read a little bit more of this tonight. So if I have an update tonight, I'll give it to you. If not, I'll give it to you tomorrow. Bye, book friends. Book dragons, I am back. So it is a Tuesday, which means Tuesday is my my least busy day to get stuff done. I actually have time to get stuff done. So I actually had a lot of listening time. I got up to page about 332 in Across the Vanishing Sky by Catherine Cowles. I will definitely finish this book tomorrow. Now, tomorrow is field day, so I don't know realistically how much listening hours I will have, but even just commuting back and forth, I should be able to finish this. I'm really liking this book. I really like this couple. I really did like Dex. Dex was in a lot of different series, so I felt like he was a solid side character, and I just am really invested in the missing friend in this story, and I'm really excited for book 2. I don't want to give anything away, but I will definitely finish this tomorrow. We also got a roadblock, which it's very, very Amazing Race-esque. So I will, if I remember, I will attach a photo of the roadblock here. And I did Kiss of Deception, which I hope to read this month, but I'll attach a photo of that book, the roadblock here. So I read about 200 pages of this. I have about 100 pages left of Across the Vanishing Sky. So this will probably be my leg book, which is normally what happens. And I really hope to make some progress on this, but I've only read about 90 pages of The Forest King's Daughter by Ellie Blake, and I am enjoying it. I'm just reading it very, very slowly. And honestly, this month, when I sit down to read, I really do like it, but I'm just not having pockets of time. So it's basically a friends to enemies to more romance. So you have these two characters, they're part of two different races, and the young princess becomes friends with a lonely boy, but little does she know they are opposite races, and the boy gives the girl something that turns out to be a weapon that can bring down her family, and then many, many years later, the girl is taken hostage by the prince, and they're trying to figure out how to get the weapon disconnected from the female lead. And I'm about 90 pages in. I really am liking it. Like, I'm enjoying it. I want to keep reading. I just don't have pockets of time right now. So I'm going to go try to read to page like 100 by the end of tonight, but I am enjoying this. And hopefully by tomorrow I will be finished with this book and I can pick another 5-star read prediction, because that was going to be my prompt. I just don't know what I'm gonna pick. But yeah, so I read 200 pages of this. I had a lot of listening time today, like a lot. I done a lot of stuff. Got a lot of end of year stuff done, which I was happy about. Not everything, but I got a lot of the important stuff done. So yeah, I'm really happy about that. So, all right. I will come back tomorrow and give you an update and see where I am with both these books. We just got a roadblock. So normally after a roadblock, you have a couple of days. So hopefully I can finish one tomorrow and move on to some sightseeing, but we will see. I will talk to you guys soon. Bye, book friends. Hi, book dragons. I am back. Sorry, I have a butterfly on my face because today was Feels Day and they were having people paint faces and I had to get my face painted. So some good news is I finally finished leg 1 and I finished Across the Vanishing Sky by Catherine Cowles. This was a reread for me. I really love this book. I gave this book 5 stars the first time that I read it, and I'm happy that I listened to it because in the audiobook you have different narrators for each of the guys that are going to get books, which I'm loving. And I love this book. I gave this book 5 stars. I gave it 5 stars again. The ending felt a little bit rushed to me, but that is okay. I love Catherine Cowles. I love her writing. I was so content with this. So I didn't have a lot of listening time today, physical reading time today, because I only read when I was on the train, and I only read up to page 134 of The Forest King's Daughter. I am liking it more, and I am enjoying it. Definitely have friends to enemies to more romance. There is a lot of mythology in the story. I feel like I just need to sit down and read it, and I just haven't had the time to do that. So I am home for the next 2 days. We have a lot of teacher work days, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to get a lot of reading done, but I am going to have my book with me because I am home. So my goal is to get up to 156 and then give you an update. But we did get a roadblock, and I'm going to do that live for you on camera because it's like a scavenger hunt and I could do the prompt for them as well. So the prompt for the roadblock, which if you've never played Amazing Readathon, it basically has a lot of it has a lot of little things. So we are doing a detour, and it's follow this clue scavenger hunt. So it says start with the book you're currently reading, turn to the acknowledgments, find the first person the author thanked. Now find a book on the shelf by an author who shares the same first name. Okay, well, as we just said, I'm currently reading The Forest King's Daughter. I don't know if this book has acknowledgments. It should, right? Does it not have acknowledgments? Oh, it does. Okay, Susie. Oh, God. Okay. Susie. Sophia. All right, let me go see if I can get one with Sophia or Olivia. Susie is a big one, but I don't know if I have any books by Susie. All right, let me try to go find one for Sophia, and then I will come back to you. All right, I'll be back. Sophia. So to pivot a little bit, I did wind up picking up Across the Vanishing Sky because I did just finish it. And one of the first people thanked in this book was Devney. And I know for a fact it's Devney Perry. So I picked up Shield of Sparrows for this prompt at least. So we are going to start with Shield of Sparrows and see what the next prompt is. Okay. Look on the spine of a book. It is the opposite color. Okay, so this is very black. So I have to find a book that has a white spine. Okay, I could do that. I'll be back. The arc of my copy of Once a Queen is a white spine, so I'm going to count Once a Queen for this prompt and then go on to the next one. Okay, and then count the number of letters in that book's title and find a book with the same number of letters in the title. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. I had to find a book that has 9 letters in the title. Okay, let me go do some research and I'll come back. So the next prompt was to find a book that had 9 letters in the title. So I found Twin Tides by Hae Nomin. This is another ALA read, which I hope to tackle before I go back. We will see. We will see. And then look at the publication year of that book and find a book published within 2 years of that. Okay, well that's easy. So this book was published in 2015, so I can either go like 2015, 2014, 2013. So it's a book published in 2013 or 2023. Sorry. All right, let me go find one. Be a little bit later. Okay, let me go try to find one that was published, or 2024 would work as well. Okay, let me go find one that would work and I'll come back to you all. The book that was published in 2014 is The Death Becomes Her by Judy I. Lin. This was a Rick Riordan present book, more like a supernatural thriller, which was really intriguing. And then turn to the last page of that book and find the last word. What does that letter start with? Okay, last page of that book. Okay, no. D. Okay, so find a book that starts with a D. D. Oh, okay. I will go get that book and then we will see what I think I have to do. All right, hold on. Okay, so I found Deathbringer by Soni Tajiri, and this is going to be the book that I add to all those graphics. This is my owl crate, I think. So yeah, this will be the book that I'm going to put on that graphic. I was outside like all day, so I am a little bit tired, but I am going to read The Forest King's Daughter. I'm going to try to make some progress on this. And then I am also going to start Murder in the Scottish Shire. I will attach a photo of that book here. I really don't know how much more time we do have to read, but I am going to try to read this tonight and focus on this tonight so I can make a little bit of progress. I have been having a struggle bus reading physically, so I'm going to try to tackle this a little bit more focused, but I'm going to go do all my prompts, and then when I come back, I should have read to like 156 and given you an update. Hopefully it's sooner rather than later, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye bye, friends. Hey, Fate Dragons, I'm back. So it is actually Friday, which means I didn't wind up updating you Thursday and most of Friday because I was busy, I'll be honest. We have done teacher work days pretty much the entire year, like since I've been working in this school, and every teacher work day looks a little bit different. These two teacher work days we had was very like work heavy, but in like a non-audiobook way. Like I couldn't listen to an audiobook while I was doing a bunch of things. I also got a bunch of new software this year that I'm using as a theater teacher, like programs and such. And I got them like midway through the year, so I really didn't get to use them to their full extent this year. And there's a lot of like PDs I can do on my own privately that like don't need to involve other people. And I've been doing that like all day. So I was listening to that. So yesterday I did wind up going to the city and I did wind up listening to a bit of my book. I wound up getting up to page 286 in The Forest King's Daughter by Ellie Blake. I am really liking this. Unfortunately, I did have to put it down because as I was in the city, a prompt dropped. So this is not going to count for anything until I get to sightseeing. But I am liking it. It's definitely a friend, like an enemies to friends to more romance. There's a lot of fun creatures in it. I like the characters. I like the world building, and there's some unexpected twists and turns that I didn't expect. So this is what I'm reading. This is what I was reading. Then I had to put this book down. And then I did wind up starting I'm actually reading 2 Scottish books, which is so funny, set in Scotland because I am going to Scotland in the summer. So one is Murder at the Scottish Castle, or I forgot the name of it, but I'll put a photo of that book here. It was a book from my 5-star read prediction. series that I heard about from Amy Marie, and I had like 2 hours left of this when I was in the city, and if the prompt didn't drop, I probably could have finished that book, but then the prompt dropped and I was like, oh, tomorrow I have a lot of listening time, so I decided to pick up another book. The book we're reading is like a book that you don't own, and there was a lot of like debate, like if you could count NetGalley arcs or if you can't, and I don't have a physical book from the library. I actually have to go tomorrow and return a couple, so I'm gonna pick up a book tonight and see how far I can get to it. But I am reading Royal Summer by, I will attach a photo of that book here. %, into that book. I didn't wind up doing the whole like roll because I was just busy and I didn't have time to pick a prompt, so I'm gonna just, in this leg, I'm probably gonna use one of my power-up cards because it won't give me any points. It's a new release book and it doesn't have white on the cover, like it doesn't have like her name, so I'm probably gonna use a power-up card when I finish that book. But I really am liking this one. I am having such a fun time with YA contemporary audiobooks like this season. I'm having such a fun time. So basically, you have a character. She winds up getting this internship to go work for her favorite author in Scotland, and then that kind of falls apart, and she's kind of dealing with some home drama between her family, her best friends, and she's like devastated that she has to go home, and she winds up connecting with the Prince of Scotland, and things kind of go from there. I think it's the Prince of Scotland, and she winds up staying in like in Scotland for the summer, and it's very, very fun. I'm like 50% into that book. So I don't know what I want to read physically because it has to be a book that I don't own, which means I have to read something on KU right now. But I know like I'm 50% into that book, so I might just try to pick something up on my Kindle and kind of get like 25% in and then give you like an update on that. So yeah, that is the plan. That is where we are. I really would like to focus on reading this weekend. We will see if that happens, and I will talk to you guys when I have made it 25% into a book that will work for the borrow prompt. So, or that I don't own. Bye, book friends. Hey, dragons, I am back. I finished my Leg 2 book, which is actually super exciting. So I finished Royal Summer by Cass Morgan. I will attach a photo of it here. Such a fun book. It was a YA summer romance about a young girl who winds up going to Scotland hoping to intern with her famous with her favorite writer of all time. Things go horribly awry and she winds up encountering a prince, and they wind up helping each other out this summer. It's really, really fun. I had an enjoyable time with it. Cass Morgan always writes very, very like sex positive novels for YA books, and I always appreciate that in her books, so I really had a fun time with it. So I did read about 30% of my Maisie book. I think it's like Love and Libations and Libraries. I'll attach a photo of that book here. The book that I might put down because it does have 2 point of views, and that is a prompt that is upcoming, but I have read 30% of it. I will probably come back to it, but I do need to pick an audiobook and a physical book to read for sightseeing. So I'm just going to and then we're gonna do a little bit of a haul. I did wind up going to the library and I hauled a couple books. I got The Bone Door by Frances White. And this is stunning. I really want to read it. So hopefully it gets chosen because this book is just pretty. Yeah, I got this. I also got A Zoom with a View, which is my holiday prompt book, and I got this because that's the only book that has a holiday in it. So I wanted to have the audio and the physical book in case I want to read it quickly. I also got Two Can Play by Ali Hazelwood, which is a little bit of a novella. Ali Hazelwood is written in white. And then I also got To the Death by Andrea Tang, which is a YA book that I picked up, and I just like the cover. And then my the yoga studio I went to had a little bit of a free library, so I picked up The Correspondent by Virginia Evans. I do have the audiobook of this as well, but I wanted to add it in here in case I want to physically read it, and when I'm done I will probably just return it to the little free library. So yeah, that is my haul. I still am 286 pages into The Forest King's Daughter by Ellie Blake, and I'm also 30% into that, but I need to roll twice to give me a sightseeing prompt for my audiobook and another one. And yeah, so we're gonna start. We're gonna roll the dice. I'm gonna see if I can get it. Okay, we have 2. can't really see that, but we are on, okay, let me go see where we're at. Okay. Okay, a book with a royal word in the title is one that I am definitely going to finish. The Forest King's Daughter. I think I want to read this, so I'm going to add this to that TBR and read The Forest King's Daughter. I actually can probably finish this book today if I really, really wanted to. So yeah, that is what we're going to do. A royal word. King is a royal word, so that will be good. Okay, so we're going to put that there. And I'll go out with her. And then we're going to roll again for an audiobook and see where we wind up. I guess we're going to go in this way. A 1. Okay, let me just see. A book with an odd number of pages. Okay. Let me see. Odd. No, that's even. Okay. Okay, let me go see what of my audiobooks is an odd number of pages. The other one I wanted to finish was, let me just see, what is the other prompt? The one if I go backwards, because you can go backwards, I guess. Let me just see. Cassie, wait. Okay, you know what? I think I'm going to go back one. I think I'm going to read a book with an animal on the cover. Sorry, my dog is barking. Because I am in the middle of Murder in the Scottish Shire, so I think I'm just going to read that. And that will be my audiobook. It's not actually that far, and I do have... there is no, like, you don't have to go any direction. You could go whatever direction you want. And I was sort of in the middle of it. So yeah, I'm going to pick up both of the books I was in the middle of reading. I'm going to go... physically read The Forest King's Daughter, and I'm also going to pick up the audiobook of Murder in the Scottish Shire. Those are the 2 books I was reading anyway before this prompt dropped, which is a little bit unhelpful just because they were not books on my immediate TBR, but I am going to pick those up. I'm going to go read maybe like 100 more pages of The Forest King's Daughter. I want to get up to the pages that I wanted to. I want to get up to page 305. I want to readjust myself to the story. Honestly, right now, it's probably going to be like a 3.5, 4-star read. I am enjoying it, but I don't think it's going to be a new favorite. And I will come back when I have an update. And hopefully I can sneak in a bike ride as well in a little bit. So I'm going to go read a little bit more of this, and I'll update you guys when I can. Bye, book friends. Hey, bike dragons. I am back. I just want to do a quick update. I did wind up finishing The Forest King's Daughter by Ellie Blake, and I'm going to give this book 3.5 stars. I did like it. I think this book suffered a little bit from me putting it down, but I was liking it. It's probably like a 3.5 star read. I thought the book was interesting. The characters were a little bit disconnected to me, and I felt like the pace was super slow. I liked it, but I didn't love it, and I don't know if necessarily I'm going to keep reading in this series. I did buy this book because Brittany from Brittany Love Reading was chit-chatting about it, and whenever the people I follow talk about YA fantasy, I definitely pick them up because I am so easily... I love YA fantasy. It's probably one of my favorite genres, but no one ever talks about it. Just like my rediscovering my love of YA contemporary this year was because no one ever talks about these books to me, so I don't know about them. And I got into a really good habit this past 2 months going through like my Libby, going through the YA books and picking up as many titles as I can, and I've been having a really good luck with that. So yeah, I am done with this book, and then the last book in this vlog is going to be Murder in the Scottish Shop. I don't know, I'm going to touch a photo of that book here again. I'm in the middle of it, but I'll touch a photo of it here. Another book set in Scotland. It's set in a little knitting shop, and her best friend or her former coworker was murdered, and she's kind of trying to solve it. She has a shop that's in a little bit of financial difficulty. She has a grandfather that's back in her life, which she has a little bit of a mixed relationship, and there's a murder she's trying to solve. And I'm going to Scotland in August. So I would love to like have a couple of these like audiobooks downloaded while I'm in Scotland just to listen to them. I will probably read other things, but if it's anything like how my Ireland trip was, I did have a lot of reading and listening time like in the traveling. So yeah, I hope I'll be able to vlog Scotland for you all as well. So I have like an hour and a half left of that. I don't know if I'm going to go to yoga in the morning tomorrow. I might try to sneak in a bike ride in the morning, but I do think I have a sinus infection, which means I may not be going to work Monday. We will see. Normally when I'm on antibiotics, I need a day for them to like acclimatize to my system because I just get nauseous with them and I don't want to do that when I'm teaching. I've done that before and it's really, really bad. So I will come back tomorrow when I have finished that or have an update for that, but I actually have to go start my next vlog because once I that's the thing with the Amazing Readathon, I really want to like finish out a book, like a reading experience in a vlog, and I hate like leaving books hanging. She did a lot with Escape, so I'm trying to avoid that. So I'll be back when I have a final update, but let me go start that next vlog. Bye, book friends. Chickens, I am back. I just want to wrap up this vlog. I did wind up finishing Murder in the Scottish Shire by Tracy Hull. I'm going to give this book like 4.75 stars. I had such a fun time with it. This is the cozy series that I've been looking for. I have read the Hannah Swanson series. I've caught up on all of the Ellie Alexandra series. Those are my two favorite cozy writers of all time. Like I really do like all those series. Those are five-star series for me. I will read anything. This book was 4.75 stars. I had such a fun time with this one. I loved the mixed generation. I love the small town. I love the crafting. I'm going to Scotland this summer, so that's super exciting. So this book got 4.75 stars, and I'm going to wrap up this vlog. Thank you guys for coming along with me. Thank you guys for following my videos, all the fun stuff. I will have a lot more content this summer coming once school is officially over, but we are getting closer. We are reading a lot more. We are watching a lot of things. I'm really excited. I'm going to go continue my next vlog, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye, book friends.